I think we really started to figure that out in the first few games. As we started to get on the field and we saw him, split a couple runs, and we saw it in practice and saw what he could do. And we felt like his athleticism and what he could do. When he was a young player, in our camp, we saw him run routes. We saw him catch the ball. We saw him just run. I think we had really good times on him. He came from a great program, and so we felt really good about him. And then he wasn't able to play as much his senior year. He played some, but so once he got in here, it was good to get him in here early, to get him documented and everything. And then we kind of say by the time you get to the summer, you're not a freshman anymore. And then from there, it's kind of just grown every week. But it's been good to see him grow each week, get stronger each week, get more and more confidence. So now is we're really needing to turn it on. Yeah. Anytime it's a night game, it's exciting, and I think we have some good recruits in, so which is great. Should have a great crowd. We've had great crowds this year, and so it should be a great atmosphere. We're certainly looking forward to it.
You don't notice him because he just kind of ignorates that.
Well, if you don't notice him, just listen for a little while in the field. You'll hear him. He's a guy that certainly brings a certain level of energy to the table every day. He's a competitor. He's playing well. He's played some corner. He's played some nickel this year. And had the big pick last week, which was great. He's playing good football, and he's obviously very confident. But somebody that just that's just the way he is. He brings that to the field every day when he comes out here. He's consistent with his energy. So he's a guy that we all look to for that juice every day, and he certainly brings it on game day as well. And I think now that he's consistently playing over a full season and a body of work, he's coming out here and expecting to have success every time he goes. I think I mentioned this before when Julian got here. I felt like Julian and his family always just had the mindset that this was going to happen for them and him. And spending time with mom and sister, and just early on, they got him set up and felt like he was somebody that has friends and has a social presence, but not really much. A little bit here and there, but really wanted to make sure that he set him up where he was in a place where he could kind of be by himself. And I think that because of all that, now that this has all happened to him fast, it's been easy for him to deal with that. Billy does a great job talking to him. I've had conversations with him about on the front end of what this could be and now what it is. And I've seen him be consistent. I think he shows that same demeanor that you see on the field, off the field, and he's got a great support system in place. So excited to see him now finish off the season the right way and stay focused.
Going into Saturday, and what can you see can be better?
Well, the first thing is that everybody has to understand, players, coaches, everybody, how exact, how on point we have to be, and that's every week. And the teams that we're playing now and the teams that we're playing in the future, we got to be good. And that's going to take great energy. It's going to take great finish. It's going to take great focus. I mean, it's going to take everything we got to get there. And so it's one thing to say, okay, we've done X, Y, and Z up until this point, but that means absolutely nothing, like zero. We've done nothing. So I understand everyone's got to talk about those things, but none of that has anything to do with what we're doing moving forward. So if we think that has anything to do with this weekend or where we're going, then we're dead wrong. So we have to make sure we all understand that. And it's my job to make sure I remind the team, the players and coaches included, how good we got to be. And so that's really more the message than anything. I think, the good news is, we have a chance. And that's good. And we said this from the beginning. We want to be the first team ever to be back-to-back. And that's a tall task. It's easy to say. It's another thing to do. And so, we're in the middle of it right now, but got a lot of work to do, and we got to continue to stay focused on what matters.
It's been very fun. Just being able to get adjusted and play as much as I've been able to play as a freshman.
Yeah. What have you shown so far that you feel proud about, and what do you have to work on, you think, going forward?
I feel like everything in my game I have to work on, but I feel like I showed great being able to come out and be tough.
Yeah. Did Jeremiah apologize to you, or was that just a lucky draw last week? And what kind of bummer was it to have to bring it back?
Yeah, it was a bummer. But we made jokes about it and laughed fast.
What stood out to you about the first opportunities you've had to start and play on the road in the Big Ten? What was that experience been like, and do you like playing on the road?
Oh yeah, the energy on the road is very different than being just in the shoe. Yeah, and I love it.
What was it like playing at the shoe for the first time for you?
Oh yeah, it was crazy. The energy was crazy. Fans going crazy. Yeah, it was very fun.
I feel like I got pretty good feet. I got good eyes, and that's something that I kind of pride myself in. You know, I like to pick the defense apart. I'm not necessarily burst out the gate. You know, that's bowl game. Every bag is different, but you know, that's something that I pride myself in.
Where does that? You mentioned your feet. You mentioned your eyes. Like the process of doing that. What does it begin? Does it begin with your vision, or is it more about how quickly you move your feet?
Well, everything begins with vision as a running back. At the end of the day, it don't matter how fast your little feet can move. If you don't know where you're going, it don't matter. Yeah.
What kind of things do you get from the coaches when they're developing you? I mean, a lot of running back is instinctual, but obviously the coach is going to contribute a lot to that too. But what sort of things have they added to your game?
Yeah, a big thing that Coach Locke, he tells us all the time. His job is to get us through the line of scrimmage. Once we get out of there, that's on us. You know, he's gonna give us different toolbox moves, cutting shoulders, spin moves, offhand planks. But that's really on us. His job is to make sure that we're good behind the line of scrimmage. So knowing what our track is, knowing who our read is, knowing where we fit in the run. And that's kind of where he's developed me. He's developed my mind a lot. I've gotten a lot smarter.
You mentioned, coming back from an injury. Hey, there were guys that were in your class that were ahead of where you were.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because even though I wasn't out in the field, I was here the entire spring. So mental reps is a big thing. That was something that Coach Day talked to me about personally, and I took pride in that. I made sure that I was locked in. I watched the film. I got on my plays so that way when I came in, it wasn't like I was 2 steps behind. It was like I was right there with them the whole time. Now, of course, the biggest thing is physical reps. You want to do it, but those mental reps are just as important.
What did you learn? Obviously,
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, the Hassan game and all that we have going on. I'm saying it's going to break soon. It's going to break soon because it has to be a strength for an Ohio State offense. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to run the ball, pass the ball, be very versatile in all areas like that. So that's continuing to get better as is every phase.
Have you seen progress? Because there were times last week where guys were completely unblocked. There's times I know were not performing. It has to all work together.
It definitely does, and that's why we got to put it together on the practice field every day. The small things, we got to handle those because when you come to the bigger games, when we playing better opponents, especially down in the playoffs, you got to have that stuff tightened up. So we're definitely on it, you know what I'm saying? And guys are getting better each day, focusing on the small things.
James, there's been a lot of talk about pace.
You talking about our pace as an offense?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it just speaks to like how versatile and how strong our offense is, because to be able to switch up that pace, we don't want to go off of what the defense does. We want to dictate the pace of the game. So starting fast, all those things like that, kind of just plays, start fast and stuff like that. So, I mean, the tempo switching up, yes, but really just putting the ball down and just playing.
Did you guys didn't ask this, but how do you feel like your season has progressed so far?
Yeah, I say my season has progressed. It's in the right direction. It's been going the way that God has intended it to go, and really just trusting in the Lord. And we got a lot of football left. We're going all the way back to the championship. We're gonna have 7 more games, about 6 or 7 more games, and there's a lot of ball left. So really just keeping my mind on that and knowing on God's timing. If I keep on doing what I'm doing, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So just being focusing on the team, the guys in the room, and all of the main goal.
Do you feel like you've really had a few moments, especially the last couple of weeks though, where it's kind of like, yeah, that's what people are looking for from you?
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely had some good runs, some good blocks, and I, just stacking days, stacking games, and putting my best foot forward every time I'm out there.
So do you feel different now than at the beginning of the season?
Absolutely. Yeah,
How's
absolutely
that?
do. Yes, sir. I mean, just growth mentally. You know what I'm saying? This game comes with a lot of ups and downs, man. And being able to navigate through that and to put your best foot forward each Saturday, in and out, and even coming to practice and work every day. Just seeing my growth as a player, my growth as a person, all that's really just been continuing to go in the right direction.
Do you feel like you guys collectively are probably coming off the best game? I mean, all the running backs kind of had some moments there last week.
I think we did a good job of running physical, you know what I'm saying, getting downhill and do what we need to do, which was the expectation because, of course, that was Purdue. But, I mean, I think we all did come off having good games, so now it's just stacking days and continuing to do it week by week, being explosive in those areas.
I mean, does it kind of filter through to you guys that there's people looking for more from the running backs a few weeks ago? Or?
I mean, yeah, but we don't really pay attention to what the outside people have to say, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when it gets down to it, I mean, what really matters is, like, of course, the work we put in the facility each day, and then, of course, going out there on Saturdays. You can't really focus too much about that, especially in season. So just focusing on the main thing, what's in this building, and doing our best each Saturday.
It was definitely a factor, just because, like you said, there's a lot of talk out there, and sometimes it's hard not to block it all out. So it's definitely a big motivating factor for me, I feel like, and I know for Edric, K-Mac, and Taiwan and everybody else. It was just like we need to put ourselves on the map, and we need to show people like who we are, and just go from there.
We're starting to know your names.
I think we're slowly getting there. Yeah, I feel like we're starting to spread our name out there. But we just got to keep our head down and keep on working, and just keep getting better each week.
When you're facing a running quarterback like this, does that change the interior guys' jobs much, or?
Not too much. I mean, just cage the pocket, really. Yeah.
What have you seen from UCLA on film?
Just kind of like what you said. I mean, I feel like if we just stick to our fundamentals and make sure we keep the quarterback contained, I feel like we'll have a good game. Kind of like what James said, they have their mentality on offense, and we have our stop the run mentality on defense. And I feel like just having both of those in practice every single day, like we like build off each other to get better each week. So I feel like that's really what we're focusing on, just getting ourselves better and working back and forth with each other to do that. So
This is your first from a nasty get after it kind of dude. You understand when I'm take no prisoners.
So we got this thing Coach Day calls the red line. So like everything from here on, that's football. So you gotta flip that switch. You gotta be a different dog out there, because like he always says, the game doesn't care about your feelings. So you gotta kind of turn that switch and just you gotta go. But like you also, when you go back across that red line, you got people that help you, like Coach Day, Sharon, your coaches, anybody to help you mentally if you don't want to like keep that switch on, because it's not always good to have a football mentality.
That's what I was gonna say.
outside of the field.
What is that
great.
football?
Not just K-Mac. You got to add in KJ, Katie Curry, Taiwan Malone, Will Smith Jr. There's a bunch of us that's fit into that world that's been able to help you, especially with just everybody doing their job. Then you got to think about the people behind me. You got Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Jermaine Matthews, IGB, Caleb, and I got Jalen McClain, some great players that do their role in order for us to eat up front. We all put in the work day in, day out, on and off the field to become what we are now. And we haven't earned nothing yet. That's the main thing we talk about in our meetings. We won a couple games, but we haven't got any hardware yet. And we just want to keep working each and every day to do our best and do our best for this team.
It's more of a mental game with that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can feel. I remember you were talking to us like early in the year, just about when you're a guy, like your confidence is growing and you're realizing more and more. Like we can clearly tell with you, like you're showing it, but like you're realizing more and more that you can do this, right? Like what's that experience like? Like every Saturday, every practice, you must be feeling the growth.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, sometimes you can get frustrated. I feel like you can get kind of like knocked off. What's the word? Like your progression, and then you just hop back on and keep on working, and then you keep on growing. Exactly. And you feel good about yourself. You feel good about your team.
Yeah.
It does, but that was a year ago almost, and he's had an off season just like we did to get better and better. So we can't base him off where he was at Tennessee. We gotta watch the film and collect data on him right now.